Hello, Doug here. Welcome back to yet another board game channel and yet another turn in Arkham Horror as we do all we can to prevent Syzygy from occurring. We're only a couple of turns in, so it's hard to say how well we're doing yet. We have a couple of rumors in effect. They're not horrible rumors, and the things to be done to fix them are not too bad. Well, one of them anyway. I'm not sure. We have an epic monster that we need to defeat to solve one of them. The other one, we need to do an otherworld encounter right there on space 2 and successfully close a gate and instead resolve the rumor. We also have another epic monster down in the South Pacific because of Cthulhu lurking in the background. Not actually the great old one, but he's still around. We have one gate in London that I think we should try to close because it's next on the Omen track, and we are going to have a yellow Mythos card next, which will make that move. So yeah, let's see what we can do to stop this. Yeah, let's start with the action phase, and we are going to be starting with Joe Diamond again, like last turn. Alright, there's Joe hanging out in Arkham with Norman Withers. The first thing Joe is going to do is he's actually going to give up his gun. His 32 Colt Pocket. He's actually going to trade it with Norman because Norman has the Wither spell, so I think he's actually got a pretty good chance of taking out the ghast here and at least trying to close the gate in London. So first thing he does, yes, give that to Norman. Yes, we're going to give a gun to the old man. For his second act, I can't try to get rid of his deal agreement yet, which is going to come up. We're going to have a reckoning on that. But yeah, there's not much we can do about it because he needs he needs 2 clues to be able to do it, even if he does pass his influence check, which he would probably do. His influence is very good at this point, but he doesn't have a single clue. So instead, I think we're just going to have him stay put in Arkham and rest, because he does have the righteous condition, which when he performs a... Oh, I got that wrong. Oh, no, yes. When you perform a focus action or a rest action, which he's going to do, so he'll get the benefits of the rest action, he will also gain a focus and recover a sanity. Which means, yes, he will get himself another a focus token. And he's at 3 sanity right now. But with the sanity he would get from the rest action and an extra one from Righteous, he's back up to his full sanity of 5. So, that's good for him. Now we will be swinging down to Skids O'Toole down in the Antarctic Ocean. Sorry, the focus went away there. Okay, here's Skids. It's not a lot he can get to around here. Basically, for its first action, we're going to move him to Antarctica, where he is going to try to get something good from the Antarctic expedition. Something else he can really do here. I don't really want to use his action at the moment. So instead, he's going to take the easy option, and he We'll also take a focus token. So he's got a focus and a clue now. Now let's head over to Tokyo to visit the lovely Mandy Thompson. Right, there's Mandy in Tokyo. For her first act, she's going to check out this old journal she acquired last turn. Focus. There we go. So you can see as an action, she can test her observation, which is pretty good at 4. If you pass, you discover information that may prove useful to your cause, and we'll get to flip the card. And I would hope something good happens from it. So, as I said, her observation is 4. No modifiers plus or minus. So she's got a pretty good chance here. Come on, Mandy. Nope. So much for that. Well, she can try again next turn. For her second action, I am going to be moving her down here to space 20, where she will try to do something about that research token and move on towards hopefully solving our first mystery. So that will leave us now with Norman Withers. And back to where we started with Norman. Now, Norman, on the city space here, we're not going to do an acquire assets. He's only got an influence of 1. His stats are, well, his health and sanity are not bad, so I'm not going to worry too much about having him rest. He's only down a single sanity and no health. So instead, it worked out well last time. We're going to cast his Feed the Mind spell, and I think if we're successful, we're actually going to have Norman raise his own strength, because he's going into combat with the Ghast next. He should do pretty well, given everything that he's got, spells and weapons and such, but we'll do this anyway. So Feed the Mind is test his lore, which is 3. -1 for the spell, which drops it down to 2. However, he does get +2 from the Opus Arcana for resolving spell effects. Just making sure I'm not missing any other... Nope. No other bonuses there. Come on, Norman. A single success. Well, it's still a success. Although I expect when we flip the card it's going to backfire a little bit, given that it was a low-level success. So Norman's going to be adding the 1. So he'll now be up to a strength of 3. And then we have to flip the card. Oh yes, it's the same effect that we had the first time. Yeah, 1 success, a wealth of knowledge overwhelms your mind. The chosen investigator himself loses 1 sanity. So he's down to 5 sanity, which is still not too bad. And for his second action, he'll just jump across the pond to visit London. All right, those are the actions that our investigators are taking. Now we will be moving on to the encounter phase, and we'll be going right back to Joe Diamond. All right, Joe, again, we don't really need him to gain any spells, so we will be doing a generic city encounter. A rich heir wants someone to fulfill his father's dying wish. He will not trust anyone who does not come highly recommended. Alright, we will be testing his influence, which is 4. Let's get down there, and 2 successes. So as a result, if you pass, gain 1 task unique asset. If you fail, his thugs treat you poorly, gain a head injury. Well, I'm glad that didn't happen. Alright, let's have a quick look through. Alright, there we are. So, the task he got, that the wealthy old man has decided to give to Joe, is a courier run. When you gain this card from the deck, place 1 random clue that corresponds to a city space face up on this card. After resolving a location encounter on that space, we flip the card. So let's see where... Oh, Joe's over this side. Let's see where Joe has to go to fulfill man's wish. Turns out he needs to go to... Apparently he has something important to be done in the Amazon. So we're going to want to try to get him down there, possibly at some point, to get something good from the courier run. Okay, that went okay for Joe. Now let's see how Skids fares in Antarctica. Alright, there's Skids. He encounters the expedition working in the Antarctic. Let's see what happens. You hear a faint sound echoing up from the caves that lead down into the darkness. You listen carefully to discern the sound's origin. Observation test. Skid's observation is 3. So not amazing, not terrible. Nope, he failed. So let's see what happens at the bottom of the card. Tekalili, Tekalili. You recognize it too late. The Shoggoths overwhelm you. Strength -1 test. Okay, strength is 4. Nothing is going to improve that for him. Alright, so he will be rolling 3 dice again. Do better. Yes, 2 successes. 2 5s. If you pass, you overcome the threat. Gain 2 clues. If you fail, you escape by... Oh, leg injury. Well, fortunately, he didn't fail. So let's put that card back and get him a couple of clues. So he probably could have had a somewhat better result, but clues is never a bad thing. Now let's see, next, the expedition will be moving all the way north to Tunguska. Alright, now let's switch to Mandy, who's going to try to do some research about our threat. Alright, Mandy is going to deal with this clue token on the city space on number 20. Let's see what we can get done. You infiltrate a suspected cultist hideout and discover plans for a dark ritual related to the solar eclipse. Gain this clue. Okay, that was easy. That's great. So before we proceed to see the rest of it, we'll just go to our mystery and point out that we may use 1 clue we get from a research encounter to gain 1 relic unique asset. So she takes the clue, but then discards it in exchange for... Let's have a quick search. She also got a mysterious idol. When you gain this card, you gain a clue, and we will be flipping it. This could actually turn out well for us, because flipping these is what lets us solve our rumor. So yeah, we'll see how that plays out. Anyway, we'll get her a fresh clue, go along with it and then see if anything else transpires. You think you can sabotage their magic by adding your own personal touch. You may discard one spell to move the omen counterclockwise by one without advancing doom. Well, she does not have any spells to discard. That's okay. I would still call that a pretty successful turn for her. Because, yeah, we've inched a little bit closer to solving our mystery. Alright, that leaves us with Norman Withers. We'll see how the old man does in combat. Okay, there is Norman, who first has to deal with confronting a ghast. Oh, focus. Isn't that a lovely thing? Alright, hopefully, I mean, quite often in these games, the old men turn out to be badasses. The Harvey Walters comes to mind. Harvey is just always awesome. Anyway, yes, first things first, we must do the horror check, which will be will -1, and if we fail, we'll take 1 sanity damage. His will is 4, so he'll be rolling 3. Just going to make sure there are no... No. We're okay. Well, there, if we don't have any modifiers. We just need a single success here. Ah! Nope. Okay, Norman is down to 4 sanity from his 7, so we're going to have to try to fix that. Anyway, now it is time for the actual physical combat, which will be his strength -1, trying to prevent 2 damage on himself and do 2 damage to the ghast to take it out. Now, first things first, he is resolving the combat encounters, so he gets to use his Wither spell, which can give him a +3 during the combat. So he'll be testing his lore. Of course, it'll be +2 because of the Opus Arcana. So, his lore is 3. +2 for the Opus Arcana. So he'll be rolling 5, and he just needs a single success to make this happen. Norman. Well, this may not go well after all. Way to go. He has nothing that will allow him to re-roll, I don't think. No. Just making sure. Alright. So. Well, he's got to fight the sucker anyway. So, he has a base strength now of 3. -1, so that's 2. He does have, however, the 32 Colt Pocket, which allows him to roll 1 additional die when resolving a strength test during a combat encounter, and he can re-roll 1. So come on, Norman, pull it off this time. Okay, he's got 1 success, so we're going to do his 1 re-roll. I should move those out of the way. And, damn. Okay, well, that's fine. So be it. We are going to be advancing Doom because he's not going to get a chance to close that gate. Well, we've done 1 damage to the ghast. It's got 1 left. And because he did have one success, Norman does take only one of the two possible damage. That's too bad. I was really sure he was going to pull that off, but somehow he managed to completely whiff the Wither spell. Alright, well that's it for the encounters. It's time. This could be worrying. But we'll see. Time to move on to the dreaded Mythos phase. Alright. Back to our worldview. And we shall see what we get. Well, first of all, of course, we move the Omen track by 1. Which means we advance Doom by 1 because we do have a blue gate open. Next up is, yes, Reckoning effects. Going to check the player's aid to make sure I get everything resolved in the right order. Right, first of all, monsters. Well, oh yes. Our only monster that does have is, oh, of course, yes, our epic Dactyla. This is why we would like to get rid of it, if we could possibly get strong enough. On its reckoning, a deep one ambushes the nearest investigator. So nearest is going to be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Not going to be Norman. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Skids. 1, 2. Oh dear, no. It's actually Mandy, because that's 1 space, 2 spaces. Yep. Mandy gets ambushed by a deep one. Alright, let's set up for a quick combat. Alright, that's Mandy minding her own business in Oceania, fresh off her success of discovering a mysterious idol, when all of a sudden, leaping up out of the water, we get a deep one. Okay, first will be our sanity check. So that is just a regular, okay, unmodified will, and we're trying to prevent 2 sanity damage. Her will is 2. Okay. Just double checking all of her items. No, okay, nothing to affect this. She may go a little bit crazy here. Yep. So she takes a 2 sanity hit, putting her down to 4. Fortunately, she is one of the more sane ones. And then she'll have to engage with it physically. Be her strength -1. Okay, we only have to prevent 1. Doesn't matter how much damage we do because it's an ambush and it's just going to go away even if we don't kill it. But we do want to make sure she doesn't take that 1 damage. Her strength, of course, is 1. And she has no clues or focus or anything. Yes! But she managed to beat the thing away. Go away, you. Alright. Yeah. That was just the first part of our reckoning. Let's continue on. Alright, the next reckoning effect would be the Ancient One, but we do not actually have a reckoning effect on Syzygy, which moves us on to the Mythos cards. We have those 2 rumours, so we will take an Eldritch token off of each one, leaving us with a countdown of 2 left on possibly losing all clues. We really need to find a way to fix that. And yeah, 3 left, counting on the other token, which can advance Doom depending on what gates we have open at that point. All right. Next up is possessions. All right, so we'll start with Joe. Okay, he has possession, which this part could turn out well for us. Because we'll be flipping over and resolving whatever happens on the back of the mysterious idol. Now, after an investigator flips a relic unique asset, which we're about to do, you may place an Eldritch token on this card, and then discard the relic, which may happen anyway. So it's going to put us towards getting our 4 Eldritch tokens on this card. First, let's just see what happens. The idol reveals its true purpose. Since finding the idols, your dreams have been filled with wonder. You have experienced amazing adventures in other worlds, where you met fascinating people and battled terrifying creatures. Each morning you awake, having lived in an entire lifetime overnight. You may spend 1 clue to improve 1 skill of your choice. He does have a clue. That's tempting. Then flip this card, although we will be discarding it once I decide if we want to do this. He does still have a focus token. So yeah, improving skills is always good. There's a lot of things that are always good. There's a lot of things that are always bad. Yeah, let's oh, what should we improve? Oh, on the other hand, we might want to keep the clue because he needs clues to get... Oh no, the agreement might kick in here. Yeah, what the hell. Let's take a chance. Just not sure what I want to increase on Joe. Let's go ahead and increase his strength as well in case he has to do combat with horrible things. So that'll give him a 3 strength. Then, instead of actually flipping this back and keeping it, we're going to discard Mysterious Idol and place 1 Eldritch token on our mystery. Alright, next up in possessions is Skid's Mysterious Idol. So, we're going to do the same thing, flip it over, and see what happens. One night, when the stars are visible overhead, the idol seems to sing. The statuette's gentle lullaby is relaxing. We're going to test his will. Alright, let's quickly... That. His will is 3. Success. If you pass, the hymn sates your fears and relieves your stress. Recover 1 sanity and discard 1 madness condition. Well, he doesn't have a madness condition, but we will put him back up to his full 6 sanity then. Goes back up to 1. Then, again, we would normally flip the card, but instead, we shall discard it and put a 2nd Eldritch token on our mystery. So yeah, that part turned out pretty well. That's it for possessions, and now conditions, which I'm really hoping we don't have to deal with our agreement. First things first, we also got to decide on a reckoning that we may flip righteous. I think we're going to go ahead, let's go for it, see what goodness we get. The sound of a shot rings through the marble halls. The beast writhes and lurches forward again. Oh, I forgot to point out, it's a daring rescue. Another well-placed shot puts the foul creature down for good. These beasts will claim no more lives on your watch. A monster of your choice on any space loses 5 health. Okay. Well. Let's see, we could just eliminate the ghast, or we could knock down these things. I think, well, currently the TikTok men have a toughness of 6. So I think I'm happy to, just because that is definitely the worst of the two. I mean, this one we have to fight a critter over and over, but it's not the worst critter. This, if we don't kill it in time, we could lose all of our clues. Okay, gonna do that. Gonna have it affect TikTok men, and boom, it's down to 1. They are down to 1 health. So yeah, that was a good thing. Then discard this card, which I figured. Now, the agreement. We will roll 1 die. On a 1 or a 2, the time has come for you to pay your dues. Flip the card. Okay, Joe. Just worried we've already had something good happen to Joe. Maybe time for something bad. 3. Okay. That does not kick in yet. So that is the end of the reckonings. That will now move us on to a gate opening. Next gate is Tokyo. Trish was just there. Not Trish. Mandy was a different. Who's Trish? Trish Scarborough, the spy. I don't know how I'm mixing her up with Mandy. They're not even both redheads. All right. And the monster that pops out of Tokyo is a rat thing. That's unappealing. Which you have to observe well enough to be able to attack. Alright, well, that's roaming around Tokyo. Now, we need to deal with the actual event. Alright. Sweating and exhausted, you stop to rest in what little shade you can find. You've already heard stories of this heat wave claiming the lives of sick and elderly individuals. Oh dear, we have some elderly individuals. You fear that if you keep going at this pace, you might fall victim to it as well. Heat wave singes the globe. Each investigator loses 3 health unless he becomes delayed. Okay. Let me think about this. Okay, let's start with Joe. Joe's still at his full 7. So I think I'm okay with him losing some health. Because I certainly don't want everybody to become delayed. I think a couple of people are just going to have to take some hits here. Like Joe, and I think probably also Skids, because he is at 6 health, so now he'll be down to 3. Mandy and Norman, however, no, yeah, they are too low. I think I might want Norman to go ahead and try to finish off the ghast anyway. Maybe roll better next time, Norman. And the same with Mandy. Not wild about that at all. But that'll put them down to either 1 or 2 health, and that's just really not good. right. Well, that concludes that turn versus Syzygy. Thank you all for watching. Thanks to everybody who's liked and subscribed and commented. I appreciate all the positive comments and encouragement. And we will see you again next time as we continue yet another playthrough of Eldritch Horror. So long.